How's it going, guys? Back with another video, and today we are continuing the Around the World at 100 Films challenge, with today focusing in on the country of Sweden. Now, with all the films that I've seen from Sweden, I felt like I needed to choose something a little special, and diving into Criterion's collection, I did notice there was a film from over 100 years ago called Phantom Carriage. Now, this is 1921, it's 104 years old, and I thought, let's check this out, let's see how it holds up. It's always interesting, like you never know what you're gonna get with these older movies, in this case, ancient movies. But I have to say that movies from the 20s, while they're silent, of course, they do have this personality to them, and that's either because of just the different techniques that they were implementing in those films, or the degradation of the film itself. But it's, especially horror films, like they are something unique and to witness at least once in your life. And with Phantom Carriage, I feel like that translates very well. In fact, you know, watching something like Nosferatu, I've always appreciated that horror film as much as, you know, it has some really eerie moments. I have to say that this movie possibly top that one, because this is one heck of a ghostly and spooky film, and that has to do a lot with the color grading and the multiple exposure like layovers that they do to create this kind of ghostly presence in the movie. And the movie is essentially about like this drunkard who has to atone for his sins in his life and realize the people that he's affected with his behavior over the years. And it's kind of like this loose Dickens story of A Christmas Carol. I've always struggled with A Christmas Carol. I feel like they were just these light family films that, you know, drive home the point of just being kind to others, right? And with a movie like this, I felt like this was a much darker, a much more colder approach to that similar story of, you know, going back and seeing the effect you had on others. The story is told through flashbacks and multiple other flashbacks. It's an interesting layered film, because I would say that it wasn't really common to have non-linear storytelling back then, and it was interesting how they were going to implement into this movie. But I think the standout in this movie has to be that blue icy color grading and that ghostly figures that they create with that exposure. I think that makes for one heck of a scary and eerie movie, perfect to watch around like Halloween time. The Grim Reaper is like essentially the main character of this film, and he's definitely the most interesting character in this movie. As far as the story goes, I think that the story does drag on a little bit. It's over 100 minutes. It's a silent film, so these lengthier silent films that do take their time to tell the story, you do feel that pacing. And I think that's one of the biggest things hurting this film, is that pacing. I feel like the Grim Reaper, they could have done a little bit more with his character. So with this kind of movie, I really appreciate what they were able to do for the time period. If I had seen this movie in the 20s, I would be creeped the heck out. In the 70s, we had The Exorcist, and it was, people were coming out of the theater and they were being told, this is like the scariest movie I've ever watched in my life, right? With this movie, I'm pretty much sure this would have had the same effect, because it's definitely a movie that sticks with you. I don't know how much I would want to revisit this film necessarily. A lot of movies like maybe Metropolis, for example, you do appreciate the filmmaking and how ahead of the time they were in addressing certain issues that still are relevant to this day. And Phantom Carriage, I feel like, did influence a lot of films in the horror industry, including The Shining. I think this has the workings to be a really good short film. But with that pacing, it does drag a bit. And, you know, I think the majority of my attention span was drawn on just the effects, the score, and just the unpredictability of where this story was going. And for that, I do appreciate this film, and I would recommend people check this out at least once in their life, even if it is a bit of a difficult watch, because it is a really old film. But I wasn't expecting a whole lot out of this, and when I ended up watching this, I thought, you know, I at least walked out really appreciating this movie and thinking that it was definitely a one-of-a-kind film, and for its time, definitely well worth your time. So with that being said, I am going to be giving Phantom Carriage a 3.2 out of 5 star rating. So if you're feeling a little adventurous, go check out Phantom Carriage. It's definitely a product of its time and something to witness at least once in your life. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please do give a thumbs up down below. Really appreciate the support. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And comment your thoughts on this movie, any other movies from Sweden, and any other films you would like to see along this challenge over the next course of the months and I guess years that this challenge will continue. So please do comment your thoughts down below, and as always, I will see you guys in a later video.